Just extending the if part of it. If is one of those formulas which we use the max in Excel, but let's just extend the if part of it. Here we have a scenario wherein we have some values and serial numbers over here and values over here. And we have the categories or the ranges in which the grades fit in. So it's a lower grade, it's a medium grade, and it's a high grade. So these are different values. Now I want to know what is the grade for each one of them. Instead of I going and typing for each one of the values, I can simply apply a one formula for all the ranges. It can be one, it can be thousand, it can be lakhs, but I can just apply one formula for everybody. Let's just have a look at it. Now, this would be slightly on a critical or a difficult side. So first of all, let me just make the formula down here because it will kind of get overlapped with this matter over here. So I'll just kind of type the formula over here and then shift it up. So let's start with if the first thing that we need to check for the first cell, and we are looking only for the first cell for now, is if this value is greater than or is it less than, if this value is less than 10%, or the first value over here, we will give it as F4, by the way. So we need to freeze this. If that is true, then you give me this again, dollar sign. If not, then I'll write another if. I'm starting one more if after that because if this value has not been met, that if this is not true, switch on to the next false value of it. So if I move to the false, I'll say the same cell, that is B12. Now, in this case, I am looking for B12 cell to be measured, but I have a range. I have a range of 10 to 20. So to get the range correct, I cannot just directly compare B12 once and then again, and that, it does not work that way. So logical test has to be only one. In if, the logical test has to be only one in one if. And hence, what I'll do is I want to check two different values, right? So what I do is I'll use and, and I'll start that. Now, and what does and do is and just gives you true or false. That's all and can do for you. And and है नहीं तो फिर or. So or में it will look if this is matching or if this is matching or if this is matching. And में for this should match, and also this should match. So all three matches, then only I can return you true. But in or, it will measure on any one of them is true, it will give it as true, right? So we will going for and over here, and B12 again is uh, greater than or equal to 10%. All right, here we have taken as below 10%. Here we are taking as greater than and equal to 10%. But of course, the dollar sign will come in. And the next logical test would be B12 is less than 20%. All right, so in this case, I'll give for if that is true. No, sorry, what did I do? Yeah, nothing. I'm on the track. So if that is true, close this. So and is now closed. Now the logical test of if has started again because I've closed the bracket. Now I can put comma. So in this case, if this value is true, then you give me the true value, and that is medium grade, of course, with dollars. The third set would come if B12 is again the same concept, greater than or equal to 20. Oh, sorry, I need to add and in the beginning. And F4 and B12 is less than 30, then close the bracket. If the value is true, then you give me high grade. Okay, and of course the F4. give me the true value. Now I can add in one more, just for the demonstration purpose. I'll add one more over here. If B12 is greater than or equal to 30, that means 30 and above. If this value is true, then you give me this. I'll type in later on, but at 15 over here, and I'll close the, then I'll say the last, which is the false. If false values does not match. It won't happen, but then we'll just write the false value over here, get the brackets closed out. Even if you close with 1 and enter, Excel will do that for you. So now this big, huge formula is going to calculate the things for me and give. Let's just fill in this highest grade over here. Highest grade. Okay, now so I'll just move the formula from here to here, and now I'll show you this is how it looks like. Right, so in this regards, this is how the formula looks. So if this is 26, I'll just kind of keep all this as is. But for 26, if I change this to, let's say, 9, or let's say 5, I've changed 26% to 5. Now 5 is below 10%. That means it should show as low grade. Oh yeah, it does. If it is between 10 to 20, that is, if it is as 13, it will show as medium. If it is 12, medium. If it is 11, medium. If it's at 10, medium. But if it's at 9, it will go to lower, because we had set as over here, if you can see this part, equal to or greater than. That's why it is taking 10 on this side and not 10 on this side. Right. Next is, if it's 20%, it will now change to higher grade, because we had given equal to or greater than 20. So that's what it's taking as higher grade. Now, if I take it as 35 or 36, it will now take me to the highest grade. So a one formula can do my job over here, but then I'll just kind of drag this 4 down, and it will give me the formulas. Because I have done F4, it will keep that link over there, and it will not kind of change it. You won't be able to see it, but then yes, this part has been fixed by the dollars that we have given, right? So in this case, now it is giving, because it's not finding any value over here, it is giving me as lower grade. But let's say if I say -1%, no, it's still lower than zero, still lower than 10%. That's why it's giving that. Okay, so that's basically the formula for if, using the different grades and specifying ranges in your formula. It looks dangerous, but it's not. It's pretty simple and logical. So just follow the logic and you should get it. This is the formula for you over here. I'll just show you one more thing since we are here, is if any. Let me just show you that formula as well. So these are two different formulas over here. This one is the, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I'll just keep it as it is. Right. So in this case, I'm using a formula, let's say this into this into this. It's giving me an error. Why? Because this is not a number, it's a letter, it's a word. So Excel does not understand this, and it throws back this particular value over here. If I change this to number, it will calculate and give it to me immediately. But if it's a letter, it will throw back an error. How do you mitigate this? You can, I mean, sometimes it may happen that you still need to have the records or still need to do the multiplications with the rest of the numbers that you may have. So in this case, we can again use as if error. If this value is coming as error, I can do two things with this. One is basically I'll say I'll hard code the messages something is wrong as a message, just a message and nothing else. So in this case, it will give me something is wrong because R is here. So the moment I replace R with a number, the number you will get 54 as an answer because the calculation comes to that. But if it is an R or let's say T, it will give me something is wrong. Now, the other way to mitigate this is like this. If, okay, hang on, let me just first copy down this formula and I'll just replace the something is wrong over here with another formula. I can give another formula as well. So in this case, I will ignore the B3. I'll just take as C3 into D3. Just give me the value of this much. That's it. So that's whatever it has done. It has now, first, it will, like, if the value is this, if it's not R and it's a number, it will calculate and give it to me. But if it's an error, it will just calculate these two numbers and give it to me because that's what I have mentioned in if error. So there are two ways to look at if error. Uh, One is basically you hardcore the message, something is wrong or whatever you want to. And please note that these are all in quotes. But if you want to give another formula or substitute the previous formula, then you can do that as well. Now, I'll just extend this into one more. Sorry, I'll just extend this into one more formula, which is if NA. So in this case, let's look at lookup. In VLOOKUP, I'm looking for this particular value in orange. Where am I looking up? I'm looking up in this particular blocks over here, of course, with F4. And I'm looking for number two column, 0, enter. It's giving me NA. Why? Because it has not found this particular value. If I give 3, it is matching. If I give 5, it is not matching. And that's the reason why it is giving us NA. So if it's 1, it will give 2, it will give 3, it will give 4, it will give because it is finding all 1, 2, 3, 4. But it is not finding 5 or it is blank, it will give me as NA. Now, in case if it's NA and you still need to have the formula the way it is, just go in the beginning of the formula and try and type if NA, the entire formula of yours, and just add a comma in the end and say if NA, the same thing what we did on the top, something is wrong or you want to substitute with a different formula, you can do that. Something is wrong. That's right. So the same thing what we did on the top, we can do it on the down as well. So if it's not finding the right answer in the first place, so if I give 3, it will change the answer because first thing that it will run is the correct formula, the first formula that it had, it will run that particular formula first. And then it will, if it's coming as any, then it will give me this particular entity. So let's see if I type 2 over here, it gives me roses, 1 over here, guns, and 4 over here, 1. But if I type 5, something is wrong in answer, right? So that's how you can use if error and if any along with the if that I just showed you. That's the formula for you once again. You can just have a look at this. And if error, that's the formula that you have, right? Okay, so that's all for this particular video. Thank you.